Raw review for the July 29th episode of Raw. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers and talk about wrestling.
Yeah, the go home Raw before SummerSlam. Here we are.
Jam-packed, and it started big with Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk. Seth Rollins was in his reffing attire. He had long sleeve zebra stripes with poofy shoulders and long, what were those, tight pants with zebra shoes.
Let's just hope let's hope he changes the attire before SummerSlam.
He was dressed to the part. Anyway, he called him out. They each came out. They each got full entrances. Punk took his damn time. But when they got to the ring, he made it clear that Adam Pearce said, if either of you touch each other, the match is off. If either of you touch me, the match is off. So we set the groundwork for the rules and regulations meet up right away. Punk left the ring because he said he didn't trust himself. And Rollins got pissed and was like, he basically threatened him and was like, get back in this ring or else I can go back there and just tell Pearce, no, we're done with this. We're not going to do nothing. So Punk got back in the ring. They started talking some trash. Punk was basically like, you're not going to call it even down the middle. You know you hate me. Drew was trying to kiss ass basically and say, look, we hate this guy. He's the worst thing for business ever. Let's just do this. And Seth Rollins was like, you are right about that, but you also forget that the one person that hates Drew McIntyre more than Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. I hate you a lot.
Yeah, Seth just kept going, If there's anybody that hates CM Punk more than Drew, it's me. If anybody hates Drew more than Punk, it's me.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice little touch.
Oh, yeah, it was great. But then the rules and regulations started. And it was only one rule.
Yep. Yep. And it wasn't really a rule.
It wasn't really a rule. It was basically, he said, you will listen to everything I say. He says, you will tap out when I say you tap out. If you're outside the ring and there's a count out, I may count to 1,000,000. And then he said, if you get on my nerves, I will put your head in the dirt in the middle of this ring as well. And Punk said, well, I only have one rule for the match as well, and it's that I don't want your help. And so Drew was like, I don't know why you're talking to him. You should be scared of me. You're facing me. I'm going to beat you and batter you. He says, Seth is going to have to stop this match because I won't stop until your heart does. And Punk was basically like, you're a big stupid head who's cost yourself the match as many times. Your worst enemy is yourself, and this weekend, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to screw yourself. And he Punk then was like, what do you got? What do you got? And Drew held up the bracelet. That's what he's got. He's got your bracelet. Punk squared up to his face, but obviously they couldn't touch each other or else the match would be off. Music hits. End of the segment. This is a fiery start to Raw. This rivalry, I'm all in. This match at SummerSlam is going to be absolutely great. Pop.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop this one.
Really?
Which sounds kind of shocking. To me, I understand it needed to start out. You get it out of the way. I think it went on a little bit too long for me. I kind of found myself like throughout Drew or Punk, like one of them would talk, and I felt like I was kind of fading in and out of paying attention. Now, maybe that's just probably me. But to have Rollins come out and say like, oh, there's only one rule, and it's just my rules go, and I'm going to count to 1,000,000 or I'll make you tap out. Like, obviously, he's screwing somebody over. I just didn't need it to go maybe 20 minutes or whatever it was to start the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of wish, like I said, I wish we would have got more concrete rules. Obviously, they're starting it to where Seth is going to screw one of them over.
Yeah.
The only part I really found myself being like, ooh, I like that was the bracelet part. That almost saved it for me to where I was like,
I think what I liked the most about it was that the segment ended with neither guy got Seth leaning toward him. Like, I didn't feel like at the end of the segment one of the guys made a good enough point to lean for Seth to like have some sort of bias at the beginning of the match. Like, I'm going into this match completely blind in terms of where Seth is gonna fall. So
yeah, and I think that is, to your point, a good thing that they did. But I guess for me, I was expecting that to happen. So I was like looking forward to like, okay, which way is he going to sway? And then obviously I'm going to think the other way.
He stomps Punk, and then you're like, oh, well.
Yeah, I was just expecting something. So for them to being kind of like right down the middle again, I was kind of just like, oh, okay. Like it just was missing a little something for me. But yeah, in terms of the rivalry, the feud itself, super excited for it. I don't know. It might be the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
It almost, to me at least, I understand special referee rules regulations out, but it almost didn't need this for me. Like it didn't hurt or help me
Fair.
one way or the other.
It was kind of just a take-home segment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll move on. First Judgment Day backstage segment of the night. And the Judgment Day no longer has a clubhouse. There are no nuggies. The PlayStation 5 is destroyed. The couch has a bunch of writing on it, and it says three little words, "I hate you" on it. And they're all like, well, everything's vandalized. There's literally writing on the sofa. We know who did this. And everybody's mad about it. Damian then walks in. He's like, you have a match against Gunther tonight, dude. Just so you know, if you need my help, I'll be there. And they all then start sitting there going, okay, well, what business do we need to attend to? We still have Sami and Jey, who we didn't get the best of last week, so we need to figure that out. So what are we going to do about that? And Dom's like, Carlito, you go after Sami. I'll go get Jey. And they split. That's the end of the segment. Then we get a good old match against a tag team that we've been looking very forward to seeing. Otis and Tozawa. They're taking on the Creed brothers with Gable. Of course, Otis and Tozawa are accompanied by Miss Maxine. And this was great. Absolutely great. A lot happened here. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Anyway, very early in the match, the Creed brothers would try to dominate Otis, try to double team Otis, but Otis is now booked as like a god. I mean, he's
a mountain of a
big,
man.
Big mountain, yeah. He's able to take down the Creed brothers even when they are double teaming him. Otis would then tag in Tozawa, who gets some good offense in.
Hey, that's what you like to see.
He would. He'd get some suicide dives off. He was working really fast, had some new gear on. He would get some good offense until Julius Creed decided to pick this man up off the ground. He was laying on his back, and he got Tozawa's head between his armpit and got up with Tozawa in the air and suplexed him. Holy hell, that's a lot of strength.
Yeah, just like a seated position to just get up with a grown man is just absurd.
Of course, Chad Gable's on the outside saying, these are my boys now. These are my number one guys now. So Otis had a dance in front of him. Otis ends up getting the caterpillar dance on him. But then something kind of weird would happen. So Otis would get the caterpillar, and then he would immediately go up to the second turnbuckle to do some sort of move. And the other Creed brother, I forget which one was in the ring, but one of the other Creed brothers jumped up to try to stop him. He would hit him. Then Chad would get up. He'd hit him off the turnbuckle. But both the Creed brothers were able to then recover, get to the turnbuckle, and they would do like a superplex off the second turnbuckle to Otis. Pin him 1, 2, 3. Match is over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember honestly if it was a suplex or like a Russian leg sweep or
It was.
I don't remember what it was.
It was weird. It was like a middle. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a interesting end to the match. I feel like they probably planned it out and then they were probably running a little bit close on time. They're like, all right, we got to go home. The right team won here as much as we like Tozawa and Otis.
There are two main segments to this part, and I do want to pop or drop the match itself because we finally got creep. And the ending was a little rough, but like it was a fast paced match and a lot of fun. Like I want to see these guys run a rivalry for a while, so I'm gonna pop this match.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it as well. It was good stuff. Otis looked strong, like he should.
Yep.
Julius Creed, I believe, is the taller one, right?
Yes,
I believe he's the taller. They talked about the match over the weekend that he had, or I guess both of them, how good they looked in. Julius is a stud.
Yeah.
And Tozawa got in some good offense that we like Tozawa here.
Goat.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, you could just keep running this back, and I would watch it every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, ending a little rough.
Yeah, the ending was a little rough. But the fun stuff would happen after the match. That's just how these things go. When Chad Gable is on TV, you just know to keep your eyes on it, man. Like we're there. But after the match, they weren't done with it. Chad Gable rolled up his sleeves as he always does, and he told the Creed brothers to hold Otis in the ring, and they did. And he was able to get one solid punch on Otis, and then he was able to put him in the ankle lock. And as he's ankle locking him up, here comes.
Oh, yeah. Well, Maxine jumps on his back.
Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad.
You got to put that in there.
Maxine saves him. I forgot. I was getting excited.
As you should.
Maxine jumps on Chad Gable's back as he's ankle locking Otis, and Chad obviously lets go, and he turns around and it looks like he's going to do something to her. I don't know if he's going to hit her, but lights go out, smoke fills the ring, and Otis and all them, they're out of there. They're like Jey Uso, bro. They just yeet now. But we look toward the set, and walking out is 3 of the Wyatt 6 members. You get the pig, you get the buzzard, and you got the bunny, which is really Rowan, Dexter, and
Joe Gacy.
Mm-hmm. And they walk all the way to the ring. They get on the apron, and this is a stare down. Creed Brothers are ready to fight. They're ready to. The Wyatt 6 members are there, and we're like, no, not yet, right? Not yet, right? Wyatt 6, they take off all their masks, bro. It's time. And right before they get in the ring, Chad Gable turns around because he's scared. He's gonna get the hell out of there. The witch, or they called her Sister Abigail tonight. Just saying, Michael Cole called her Sister Abigail. And what's her name? I forget her name. Nikki Cross jumps off the top turnbuckle, takes out Chad Gable, but they ain't done. The Wyatt 6 members get into the ring, and they go in. They go after the Creed brothers. So they start with what was the move they start out with? They did like they each choke slammed them.
Yeah, like a choke slam, almost like rock bottom.
Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis did it. They choke slammed the 2 members, and then Dexter picked up.
Gacy picks up Loomis.
Oh, Gacy picked up Loomis and power bombed him on top of the Creed brothers, and then Rowan would do a running cross body slam on them. They would kind of roll out. Chad Gable is now at the set, or walking toward the entrance set. And more smoke. You see the outline of good old Mr. Howdy, and he's laughing. Chad Gable turns around, looks at him like, oh, shit. Runs out of there. But we got it. We got the in-ring debut of Wyatt 6. At least 3 of them. We got a match next week. They're here, man. Pop.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. Yeah, you get the reveal. Which was nice to see. Obviously, we've seen VHSs and you know who's behind the mask, but it's nice to see that now.
Yeah.
Like you said, in-ring debut, obviously not a match, but to see them in a ring was really nice to see. The moves, I mean, Gacy was pretty good from what I remember, and Loomis has always been a favorite.
Yeah.
So that was solid to see. If they can do some cool tag moves like that,
oh, dude,
you can sign me up. And the shot on the apron of the 3 of them, it's like when they take their masks off, you're like, oh, okay. Here. Like it's here.
Dexter Loomis is rocking the long braids now. He's got the face paint on him. He looks completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the moves are absolutely great. Rowan, I think Rowan needs a little bit of look change. He just kind of looks like, back to Wyatt family Rowan, which is fine. I'm not hating, but it's cool to see such a change in look from Dexter, and then you look at Rowan, it's like, oh, there's not much change there.
Yeah, and I like I mentioned to you, I think maybe that's deliberate, but everybody else has some sort of change, whether it is Sister Abigail, which was Abby the Witch and all that stuff, but maybe just like a little bit of like a dye or something, like just some face paint, just a little
literally
bit, maybe.
Anything. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. Like, when's the right time? When do you see them? And to see them come out, these 3, it was like, okay, now we're here. And obviously Howdy there being the puppet master behind the scenes is just fantastic stuff.
I just can't wait for next week, man. We get the full match. Full reveal.
Yeah, full in-ring debut for those 3. And I cannot wait. This sounds bad. I don't want to skip SummerSlam, but I'm also like, let me get to Monday so I can see those 3.
A lot of good stuff. We get another Judgment Day backstage when Carlito would walk back in, and Dom was like, "Okay, did you set up a match with you and Jey tonight, or no? Yeah, no, you and Sami tonight. He sent him after Sami. Sorry, like, did you set up a match with Sami?" He goes, "No, I set up a match, Sami Zayn versus Dom Mysterio." And Dom's like, "No, it was supposed to be you, man." And Rhea's like, "Okay, well then, Carlito, you need to take care of Jey then. You have a match with Jey tonight and you'll be alone." And Carlito's like, I need to get my baby oil then.
Which, I'm not spoiling anything. He came out, no baby oil.
Yeah, no baby oil.
Tragic.
Then we get a match, Sheamus, Bronson, Reed. and Sheamus walks out. You know what you're getting, man. What more can you say? This match was they beat the hell out of each other. They hit each other a lot in the chest. A lot of slams. A lot of good stuff. This thing. One thing that we noticed, Sheamus doesn't do the brogue kick on him. He does a brogue knee at all times. I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, it looks great and it looks painful as all hell.
Yeah, I feel like we were talking about that. Maybe it's hard for him to get the brogue kick up.
Yeah,
but I feel like the knee would be harder. Maybe I don't know. I feel like the knee would be harder to bring up high. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks awesome though when he hits it. But anyway, this match was full of what you would expect from Sheamus matches. They smacked each other a bunch. A lot of power slams. A lot of big bumps. There was the brogue knee. There was a Death Valley driver from Bronson Reed that got a 1-2 but it all ends with a top rope white noise from sorry. Sheamus would hit a top rope white noise on this guy, which is insane. Bronson Reed's a big dude and Sheamus isn't getting any younger, and he nailed it. Top rope white noise, boom. 1-2 ooh. But Reed would get up, go over to the ropes, and where Sheamus would do his 10 beats of doom, whatever they call it.
10 beats of the Baldrin?
Yeah, something like that.
He got 16 this time.
Yeah, he got 16 of them, and Sheamus is celebrating. And they did this thing where Bronson Reed got his foot stuck in the rope when he was coming back into the ring, and the ref had to go over and help. So the ref was distracted. And Pete Dunne, what's he hit Sheamus with? Obviously, he hits him with a shillelagh. Why wouldn't he hit him with a shillelagh? He hits him with a shillelagh. Bronson Reed, tsunami, 1-2-3. Bronson Reed wins with the help of Pete Dunne. This is great. I can't really say where this story's gonna go except for a good match. And you know what? Fine. Pop.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it as well. Great match. I mean, it's hard hitting. It's what you want to see. And we got Finley Jr. on the outside of the ring with a shillelagh. Sign me up. And you say you don't know where it's gonna go. Obviously, those two are gonna have a match eventually.
Yeah.
And hopefully Pete wins that one. But I do feel bad for Bronson Reed because, again, he's just the guy. And I think they mentioned it on commentary tonight. It's they mentioned it on commentary. I think that Bronson Reed is I'm tired of being in other people's stories or something along those lines. And I've been saying that for months. He just helps progress other people's storylines. He does his job.
He does great matches.
It works.
I won't hear any Bronson Reed slander. He just goes out there and he hits people hard. And sometimes you need that, and it's fun. So.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have a good match with him. So, a big guy.
Yep. Quick, Damian. We had a couple video packages here, back to back. Damian Priest video package, where basically he said that Gunther's whole career is based off of a bunch of here you goes, is what he said. So, here you go. Here's the best training camp for wrestling. Here's the best, life that you can have when you grow up. And he goes, you know what? You call me street trash. Well, that's fine because at SummerSlam, the ring will be my street. And I will keep my championship. And it was a good little video package for Damian. But back to back, Braun Breaker won a video package. He wants in on it. A lot of video packages here tonight.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, totally fine. Because they all did really well, honestly. He basically admitted that Money in the Bank was a rookie mistake on him. That's on him. Took him lightly. But he says that Sami Zayn's more focused on his stand-up comedy career than he is wrestling. And that's why he's going to win, because Sami Zayn has a plan after WWE, while Braun Breaker has been in the gym. All he can think about is the IC title. So he's going to win that belt at SummerSlam. 2 video packages from 2 good guys. Good stuff. Not much else to really say.
No. And they were quick.
Yeah, they were quick. Jey Uso versus Carlito would happen. Before the match, you and I were like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. But it ended up being all right, it
was better than I thought, but wasn't hard to do because I gave this no.
I thought the match was done the second Carlito walked in the ring, because Carlito walked in the ring and Jey Uso super kicked the man's block off and pinned him, and I'm sitting there like, oh no, and it's a 1-2 ooh, and I was like, oh Jesus, thank God. But Jey would suicide dive after that. It looked like it was going to be a 5 moves a doom match from Jey Uso. But we go to commercial break, come back, and Carlito's actually getting some good offense in. Which he did. He got some good offense in. He did this thing where he reversed the spear into a spine buster. Carlito got some decent offense in for a 5-minute match, okay? You can give it to him. But it would all change when Carlito would put that apple in his mouth. The damn apple.
Yeah.
He took a bite, and the ref was on his ass like
Yeah.
the apple was gonna get him disqualified if
Yeah,
he
so
spit
then he
it.
took another bite.
Yeah, then he took a bigger bite, and his mouth he's with the apple, and he was talking to the ref, or the ref was still yelling at him for some reason. That was weird to me, but Jey Uso would spear him, and when he speared him, he spit the apple out of his mouth. It was a nice little picture. This was fun, but I am gonna go ahead and give it a drop. I guess Jey is just not gonna be on the SummerSlam card, huh?
No, unless he's coming to go to Bloodline stuff, I guess.
I figured that something on the card here today at Raw was going to, force him into some sort of scenario where he'd be at SummerSlam, like have an actual announced spot. But I mean, I guess he's gonna run into the Rhea stuff. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they kind of somewhat tease that again because he's, he beats Carlito, I guess. So I don't know. He's got to make an appearance somehow, some way. I assume it's probably the Judgment Day stuff.
Yeah,
but who knows? Because by the way, I'm gonna drop this as well. Before I continue my thoughts, the only saving grace for me was the apple at the end.
Oh,
that's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was like, God, can I go to the next match? But we talked about it before with Jey that what do you do with Jey? You've got your foot here, your foot here, your foot here, and it's like, well, he could go help Judgment Day or Liv and Rhea, that whole like random thing, or he could help Sami now potentially because Sami's his friend and they team. But then there's also the Bloodline stuff, so it's like there's 3 potential avenues that Jey could go down right now, and I don't see him doing any. He's trying to start the car, and the car's not starting.
I think that this solidified that he is just on the back burner until the Bloodline gets there.
Mm-hmm.
And he may show up at SummerSlam with Roman Reigns somehow. How would that work in storyline? It doesn't make any sense, I know, but like not having your arguable most over, at least in terms of fan interaction, I mean 100% the most over guy, not having him scheduled at all on your card doesn't seem like a smart idea. And so to me, it's just like, okay, Roman has to come back and he has to get involved. Like something has to happen there.
Yeah, I know we just said that he might come out for the Rhea stuff as well, but the Bloodline's obviously the bigger stuff. And if Roman comes back like we think that he's going to come back, like he's going to be with that. But I don't know. It's WWE. They can do whatever they want.
Last thing about the Judgment Day stuff, it wasn't like he had a match against Carlito, but he wasn't involved in the Judgment Day night. Like they had unfinished business with him in terms of losing the match last week, but like there wasn't any more Jey Uso interaction with Rhea. There was nothing else.
No, but I know that at least with like Braun Strowman, they kind of had the same thing where like they would have matches.
No. Oh no.
Do you remember that?
Oh no. He's aligning with the Braun Strowman stuff. We're in trouble, Jey.
I'm just saying that like even though Braun would randomly chase him through, like for some reason that lasted forever. But it's a big miss for whatever they do with Jey because you should have had him in a match.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care what you did. He should have been on the card some way, somehow.
Yeah. He
that
could have been a special guest referee. I don't know, but who knows? We would then get some more backstage interactions. We get Zelina interview backstage. She is still hurt. Her arm is still hurt. Mm-hmm. And she basically said that even though she's hurt, she is still a threat. And that was Sonya Deville and Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler's cue to show up, where they were just like, man, we'll show you a threat. And they ended up booting her arm against the wall again. So her arm is now Dunsey. She's hurt.
Yeah.
Which would quickly cut into a Kathy Kelly interview with The Miz. Mm-hmm. And The Miz, unlike Jey Uso, has a spot at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. I called this right as he pops on TV.
Yeah, you did. But The Miz is going to be the host of SummerSlam, and he's very happy about that. Hometown boy, Cleveland, Ohio. R-Truth walks over and he's like, or no, because Miz says something about in my hometown or in my house. I'm going to be the host in my house at Cleveland, and Miz is like, oh, WWE's bringing back in my house? That's great.
Yeah.
Or in your house. Anyway, The Miz is turning heel at SummerSlam and beating the hell out of R-Truth.
Yep.
That's what's happening there.
Yep. Yeah, he's not bringing any hors d'oeuvres like you said.
No, he's not bringing hors d'oeuvres.
Uh-uh.
Then we would get another match.
Mm-hmm.
we get Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross with AOP / the Final Testament, whatever the hell they are.
Yep, no, you're right so far. 100% there.
Yeah. Karrion Kross would get a mic real quick and acknowledge that he would say that Kofi Kingston is not really hurt. He's just jealous of the attention that Xavier Woods is getting now. And yeah, he's just jealous. He asked Xavier Woods to join the Final Testament and admit that the power of positivity was always a lie and that it's dumb. And Xavier Woods takes offense to this and he punches him and the match begins. He would, he jumped on Karrion Kross during this mic session, so he would get the early momentum here. Suicide dives, all the good stuff. But Karrion Kross would get the upper hand in the middle of the match where he would do some moves, but most of the time he was kind of just shit talking. Mm-hmm. So he was yelling like New Day is dead and you're going to be joining us and all this stuff. You can tell Xavier Woods would eventually kind of hulk up. But Xavier Woods would they would do a bunch of stuff. He would roll up Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross would push him off the roll up toward the rope where AOP, one of the members,
Acom.
Was it Acom?
That was Acom, yeah.
He would smack Xavier Woods over the top of the head, which you would think would lead to the loss, but no, Xavier Woods would still get the momentum and take out everybody. But he would miss an elbow drop, get up, final prayer from Karrion Kross, 1, 2, 3, Karrion Kross wins. I don't need to say much about this. I'm just really not into this story. We're now working on this for like a month. I'm not into it. I'm dropping it.
Yeah, you spent more time on this than I probably would have. I'm going to drop it as well. Just being
thorough.
Yeah, it's the only... Yeah, this is bad. The weird thing to me was...
Okay, Mr. Garrison.
Like,
it's bad. Okay.
It's weird because you were like, they come back from commercial break or whatever. And they're like, here's the Superstar Tour in Japan. And then there's Kofi Kingston. And then Michael Cole's like, well, he re-aggravated his shoulder. And you were like, why even say that? Like,
yeah.
All that, they could have just...
Don't show him.
Yeah. And I'm sure they would have been like, oh, well, fan footage, blah, 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 blah. Like,
if you want to talk about the freaking live events, talk about the amazing matches you have over there. Like give me a 5-minute clip of that. Why are we acknowledging that the injured guy went overseas and worked?
The whole thing was weird. And
yeah,
like you said, it's been a month and this has just gotten worse.
Yeah. Short-lived video package. She is burning all the photos of Dom and her. Burning them.
And t-shirts,
merch, anything that she has.
Yeah.
She says, you're not a man, you're just Rhea's little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can do now is make yours and Rhea's life a living hell, and it all starts at SummerSlam. Very quick, very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Live angry. Raw.
Yeah, live angry, and WWE zooms in on the truck picture of Dom from like 4 years ago, where it's old, like babyface
Happy Dom.
Yeah, no mustache.
Before the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. I mean, come on. We then would get a Sami Zayn interview with Miss Jackie Redmond, and he said it's funny how Braun thinks that he can win. He is 100% focused on the task at hand at SummerSlam, but right now he has to be focused on Dom Mysterio because he has a match against Dom Mysterio. Mm-hmm. And we do the camera cut where it goes all the way to the ring.
Yep.
Him and Dom would start the match. Dom was taunting and running away, just kind of like playing the crowd, being a heel, do good stuff, until Sami would do his springboard fly on the rope.
Mm-hmm.
That he does.
Springboard moonsault thingy.
Yeah, springboard drop moonsault. I don't even know what you call it. That he does every single match. But Dom would actually dominate the middle of this match until Sami Zayn would hulk up as he normally does. But back-to-back weeks, Dom got the 3 amigos.
Yeah, I don't think I will stand firmly on my stance that I do not think he got it in one time before last week.
Definitely not.
And back-to-back weeks.
So
character change.
Dirty Dom.
Little things.
He's getting better, man. He's getting better. But Sami would hit an exploder into the corner where he was going to follow it up with a Helluva Kick until Carlito and JD come out. So they come out and Sami takes out both of them. Dom kicks him into the ropes and goes for the 619, but it does get reversed into a Blue Thunder Bomb. Good move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
JD and Lito would then jump on.
Did you say Lito?
Yeah, Lito. They jump on Sami. Which would get Sami. Obviously, Dom gets DQ'd. Sami wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But basically what happens, Jey Uso then runs out to help Sami Zayn. He gets rid of JD and Carlito. Dom and all of them are on the outside of the ring. Jey Uso's like, yeet. jumps out, suicide dive, flips into all of them. He kind of gets taken out there. When Braun Breaker would come out and attack Sami from behind, he would try to run the ropes at 23 miles an hour, but Sami would get the nicest haluva kick I've seen in a while off.
Solid.
I'm a hater, but hey, props and props is due. That was nice as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And Braun he would do that. Then he would do a exploder in the corner, and he would line up for another haluva kick. But Braun was like, "Nah, I've had enough." He'd roll out, starts to walk to the stage, goes, "Nah, you know what? I'm gonna turn around and try it again." He gets in, and they were doing this like thing. I don't know if he was trying to haluva kick him over the ropes.
Yeah, he was trying to haluva kick him out of the ring. Yeah.
So he haluva kicked him, but he didn't. Braun didn't quite jump enough, or I don't know.
That's what happened.
I don't know, but he couldn't really get over the ropes. It was a little bit of a botch, but it did a thing. I am actually going to pop all of this. I thought it was impressive how I think a good amount of stories progressed here all at once. I mean, there's the random Jey thing. But like I like how you're able to get the Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn story in little spurts like that, and that's really all I need from it. But it's like you got the Dom, Carlito, JD, Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Jey stuff. That cooks for a little bit. And then right away, or like right here, I can turn on a dime, get whatever I need out of Braun Breaker and be done with it.
Yeah.
It works for me. I'm going to pop it.
Yeah. I'm going to pop that as well. You don't need a bunch from Braun Breaker, and it's probably better that you don't get a lot.
Yeah.
He is still young. As much as we like Braun, and I think most people do, he is still very young. So it could be bad. But we got to see Dom wrestle, which I'm always a fan of Dom getting more screen time. It's nice to see him back in the ring again. Him and Sami put on a good match. Nothing really bad to say about it.
No, yeah, it was great.
In terms of the Judgment Day stuff, like, yeah, that's still there. It's penciled in. I guess I would like to see the only, I guess, nitpick isn't even with this match or the Braun Sami Zayn stuff. I don't know what I was about to say, but JD coming out and helping, like, I don't know. I guess I would like to see a little bit from him. Obviously, we got to see Finn later on, as we'll get to, but I just would like to see a little bit more. Like, I know, like, it feels like tag team, it's either those guys are in together or maybe one dominates. I'd like to maybe see him just get a match every once in a while.
Yeah, singles JD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's great in the ring. They're all great. They can all go.
Yeah,
so, I agree.
yeah. I'd like maybe, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe next week, but Sami won't have the belt. But
yeah,
maybe you have him and Sami fight. I don't know, but
yeah,
something small.
Little peanut butter jelly sandwich here with 2 segments that all deal with the Wyatt 6. We got a Wyatt 6 tape. It's all about Dexter Lumis. Very quick, kind of like last week's. It's the voice, which I'm guessing is Howdy, says they watched you drown, but there is freedom in sinking. Tell me, what do they do when the buzzards start to circle? And Dexter Lumis, actually, you see him, and he goes, run. Very quick. Very cool. Did the thing. But this immediately followed through with Chad Gable with Adam Pearce. And Chad Gable said, I've cracked the case, Pearce. I figured out who the Wyatt 6 are. He goes, it's Dexter Lumis, it's Rowan, and it's Gacy. And Adam Pearce like, yeah, I know. They're on WWE contracts. And Gable's like, nope, I figured that out. But he goes, anyway, next week, we want those freaks in a 6-man tag match, those 3 versus us 3. And Priest goes, you know what? We'll make it official. I'm going to combine these 2. This makes me so excited. We are getting the debut next week. And it's great. Pop.
Yeah, I'm going to pop that as well. It's nice to hear Dexter Lumis speak.
Yeah.
Never got to see him speak before, from at least that I can remember.
Well, he said I do in the wedding.
Well, that was a different Dexter Lumis, not this Dexter Lumis. So it's nice to see that. As much as we talked a little bit about the Nikki Cross one being like not good, we wanted a little bit more. I feel like this one kind of almost was the same, where it was like I wanted a little bit more, but what they did was enough because Loomis's look is so different.
Yes.
I feel like that was the difference from week to week. And then you get to see him next week. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah.
So
really,
you get the Creeds in there. You get Gable, who those 3 are going to make anybody look good.
Mm-hmm. And
Gacy and Lumis are good, and you got Rowan there to do some spots.
Agreed. We then get another Judgment Day backstage, but it's only Rhea Ripley. Mm-hmm. And she's cutting a promo on good old Liv. She said Liv wants to be the victim in this so badly, but guess what? It's a fantasy. And at SummerSlam, it all comes to an end. It'll be my revenge tour. Very cool. Very quick. All these video packages tonight were like quick to the point. Did a good job. Every single one of them sold me.
Yeah, and the way that they cut them now and the way that they produce them is just so good. I mean, it kind of has like a little bit of hint of like Raw from like 94, 95 a little bit with some of the like different angles and stuff.
Yeah.
At least from what I can remember. But it's just night and day difference in production level now.
Yeah.
Like they would have never done this a year ago, 2 years
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Yeah, 100%. We would then get a Lyra Valkyria with Kaden Carter and Katana Chance taking on Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. And this was entertaining as hell. I liked it. These two teams work as a team together, and that's nice to see in tag team matches. Like the Lyra Valkyria team, they did that like thing where Kaden Carter and Lyra Valkyria set themselves up as stairs so Katana Chance could run off them and knee them and knee Shayna Baszler. And then whenever they got Lyra to the corner on Sonya Deville's side, they were just quick tags hit, just working and working and working. It's nice to see that sort of thing where like when you have the numbers, where the position of the people in the match matters. Because like if you're closer to one team, they're gonna beat the hell out of you. And that's just something you don't really see very much anymore, and I really, really enjoy it. But this match ended up happening where at the end chaos would just break out. Everybody was in the ring at once, turned into a tornado match, right? Big moves, big spots happened where most of the people out of the ring ends up being Zoe Stark and Katana Chance in the ring, where Zoe Stark would hit the Z360, her finisher, and Sonya and them would win the match. And then right afterward, the return of Damage Control. Damage Control would sprint to the ring, make quick work of throwing Sonya and the buddies out of the ring, where Io Sky would do an oove over the moonsault off the top rope, outside the ring, take out all of them. Sonya Deville, in fact, took a boot to the face. Good stuff here. Damage Control is back after the match. Quick interview backstage. They were like, hey, you guys are back. And Io and Kairi Sane said some things in Chinese.
Japanese.
I don't speak it. Sorry, but Dakota Kai said that she challenges Sonya Deville 1-on-1 next week, so that's what we're getting. This match was entertaining. The stuff afterward was great. Dakota Kai versus Sonya Deville. All this is pop, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it as well. I guess I'll start with the match. It's nice to see those two teams as much as I don't like I'm just gonna call them party people. With Lyra, I guess that doesn't really work for me, but the contrast in styles really works for me with them and with Lyra, or with
good point,
Zoe and Shayna and Sonya.
Very good point.
The right team won here. Obviously, you have Damage Control coming back, so you're gonna have like a little bit of a faction thing going on here. I don't know what that does to the party people in Lyra. Maybe they're just gonna come back and it's gonna be a 3-team thing, but we'll worry about that down the road. Dakota Kai, Sonya Deville, sign me up. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's my personal match. Like, I love those two. Like that's Raw next week's looking just fine. So very excited for that. We get one last Judgment Day backstage segment where Dom he's icing his head, you know?
Yeah,
had a hard match.
Shoulder.
Had a hard match. Rhea was like, all right, we're in a mess now. We need to figure this stuff out. And Finn's like, you're right. We are in a mess. We shouldn't have handled that tonight. We need to focus on SummerSlam, though. It's right across the corner. And Rhea's like, you're right. And just so you know, if you need help with Gunther tonight, let us know, man. And Finn takes this as what, you don't think I can do this? And Damian and Rhea are immediately like, no. That's not what we meant. It's just, we're here for you, brother. It's basically what it was. And Finn's like, well, I appreciate it, but this Saturday, Rhea, you have to take Liv 1-on-1 for the championship. Damian, you got to go 1-on-1 against Gunther. So tonight, let me do my thing. I'm going to go 1-on-1. And that's what happened. Gunther, Finn Balor, main event of the night. And they put on what you would expect from Gunther and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
They smacked the hell out of each other over and over and over to the point where Finn Balor's chest was bloody.
Mm-hmm.
And so was Gunther. He was just as bloody. But it would start with an early slap battle that Gunther would win, surprisingly. He's good at slapping. But it would work where like Finn was too quick early and he was getting a lot of holds off. He was kind of too slippery for Gunther. Just little dude being little dude. action, but Gunther would dominate the middle of the match. He'd put him in a Boston Crab. Gunther was really doing, like, as much as I don't want to bring up Vince, like, he was doing the Vince rule with heels, where, like, if you are a heel and you want people to hate you, long submission holds, you know, don't give the people these flashy stuff, make them boo you in the ring. Gunther was doing that.
Yeah, slow it down.
Slow the match
the crowd
down.
is just begging for something from the face, which is an interesting, I guess, dynamic, and I don't mean to cut you off before you go too deep. These guys are both heels.
Yeah.
But when he comes out, he's the heel, and Finn was kind of the face in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, which is interesting because when you look at Judgment Day, I wouldn't say Finn is exactly a face, right?
No,
like you have Rhea and Priest that are faces.
Yeah.
Everybody else heel.
It just tells you how much of a, I mean, they're really trying to make Gunther a bad boy, like a bad dude, man. And he is. He is. But that was the key to, like, the last third of this match was Gunther trying to make this man tap out or submit. That was it. He would, whenever Finn would get any sort of offense, it would end in a slap battle, a test of the wills between the two, and Gunther would beat this man down with slaps. I mean, Pat McAfee was like, he could hear that slap in Minneapolis because we were in St. Paul, Minnesota. And
yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Balor, though, would get a moment. He'd hit the sling blade. He'd go for the coup de grace. He would miss, though. Gunther would put him in a sleeper hold, and Finn would kind of wiggle out of that. Gunther would powerbomb him, put him in another sleeper hold, and keep doing it. Finn Balor would go. Ref would do the old arm thing. He'd only do one. Pisses me off. Back in the day, we used to get 3 arm drops, but 1 arm drop is enough for me, I guess. But Gunther wins this match via submission on Finn Balor, but Gunther was not done. After the match, Gunther was like, he gave his patented Gunther smile, looked around for a second, put him back in the sleeper hold, choking him out. Damian Priest, music hits. He runs out. Damian kind of beats the hell out of this man all over the place. Takes him out of the ring, throw him against ring post. One point had him mounted on top of the table, just ground pounding him. And they were running late on time here. So Raw ended as Damian Priest was throwing Gunther out into the crowd. So Damian stands tall on the take-home show to SummerSlam. Oh, gets me a little worried. But in terms of all this, pop, loved it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. I don't know how you could dislike it.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn's fantastic.
Yeah.
Gunther's fantastic. Even though I've seen some people not like Gunther, which kind of surprises me, but
yeah, he's a bad guy.
Is what it is. Match was great. Finn looks strong still, reminiscent of what Gunther did to Jey in the King of the Ring.
Yep.
Which obviously didn't hurt Jey at all.
Nope.
Priest coming out, like you said, it does worry me a little bit, but I'm still going to go with my gut and say that they're not having Damian Priest drop that belt. I don't know why. Not yet.
Does it work out to where the people standing tall do lose the, like, you said no, but like Sami stood tall, Damian Priest stood tall, both the faces stood tall. We gonna get those title changes? We gonna get them?
I mean, typically, yes, that's what happens. I'm gonna say it depends. I mean, I think Sami's losing.
Yeah. And
Damian, I just think that there's still so much of the Judgment Day stuff that hasn't blown up yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we failed to mention in the very first backstage segment tonight where Liv destroys the locker room hangout of Judgment Day. The only face that's not spray painted is Finn's.
Finn Balor.
So that's still got to fall.
Yep.
That's still got to come into play some way, somehow. And there's just so much around that still that I just am not ready for that to happen. Gunther can afford a loss.
Yeah.
It's not going to. Gunther is, I guess it's a pro and a con. Like, you know who Gunther is? Pro. Con is, it doesn't matter whether he's champ or not.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need that belt
to
change who he is
as
a superstar.
I mean, I'm not putting him on the same level, but he has that same, like, Undertaker vibe. Like, Undertaker never needed the belt. He was just Undertaker. And when Gunther walks out, it's like, yeah, I believe he can beat literally anybody on this roster, and I don't care if he has a belt or not, because I just believe it. Like, he can beat anybody. Fine by me. So, but I hope my boy Damian retains. Hope he does. Speaking of that, though, this was a great episode of Raw. We'll pop it, and if you want to check out our official predictions for SummerSlam, that video is out now. So go check that out. But another great episode of Raw.
Yeah, and there's also a who we think should. So not even a prediction video, but just storyline wise, who should drop the belt.
And then a what if later this week. So just stick along with the channel and share it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. And listen to us wherever you get your podcasting at Spotify, Apple, etc. And share us with whoever you might think like this wrestling content. And watch our live stream this Saturday for SummerSlam.
Big time. Big time.
At least TikTok and YouTube. So see you.
We're going to try.
I'm Will.
Give it a
That's
shot.
Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.